the things I've learned, I continue to learn from people, and no matter where they are. So today I want to talk about the 10 steps. The 10 steps on how we can learn, and some of the things are already proven. We just have to collaborate between academia and the logistics community to make sure that we're moving forwards to this with a process. Step 1, transforming how our students for their logistics career. Hybrid classes. Some of this information is from those 53 interns that came back to me and said, I said, what would you change? How could you get more benefits from academia and what you've learned by being an intern and now having a career? They said, how about more hybrid classes? How about where I go in on Monday and then the rest of the week I go to the workplace. I go to the logistics. Like I'm in the engineering function. I'm in the HR function. And then I come back the next Monday and we go through how we did this. What did we learn? Where are we moving? How many interviews did I have? What happened? So that was one of the ideas I thought was, do you believe only 10% of our students have intern opportunities? 10%. Now when you come out of school after 4 years and you've worked for some jobs, but when you sit down at the table and you say, this is what I've done, or you were an intern, maybe not the same organization, maybe not even the same function, but you were an intern and this is what you learned. So we could drive all the logistics organizations in the Inland Empire. I mean, how many are there? Big companies, small companies, with need for talent. And the one thing I understand, working with this university, is the talent pool is amazing. In Cal State San Bernardino, all the Cal State systems, the talent pool is amazing. So we partner, and we provide credit hours, obviously. We want to incentivize our students for not only getting out there and having an internship, but also learning from it. That should be worth something, right? That should be worth money for them, and experience, and credits. So let's go to step 2. I like calling this the intentional student. How many have in your places of business and also school, how many non-intentional students, where they're here 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, are they really intentional about what they're doing in life? So what we like to drive in this model is you have to be intentional. You have to have a timeline. You got to know exactly where you're going when you're doing it. And we have to encourage that, with academia's help there. So encourage and being intentional about everything they do, especially that self-development part. We'll talk more about that. So we deem these students, these interns, driven, positive disruptors. They need to disrupt. They need to be positive and disrupt, and they need to be driven. So you're in a culture. Think about this was with UPS, 112-year-old culture, and here you're coming in as an intern. What would you think how do you think you feel at first? Nervous, right? Apprehensive? Well, right from the beginning, your job is to be a driven, positive disruptor. Disrupt the status quo. Be different. Just because UPS has been around 112 years, or another company 30 years, another company 10 years, it's not relevant. Yes, respect the culture, but also disrupt things in a positive way. Anybody can disrupt things in a negative way. But be positive. Be positive. Show results. Show not only change, but results from that change. Network, network, network. Do we teach our students to network, network, network? This young lady here, Lilana Ruiz, it says right here, they said getting a degree was hard, so I got 2. She's from Cal State LA. She's in the UPS plant engineering function now, after a year of the internship and being a part-time supervisor, getting her dual degree. Corey Wilkerson served 2 tours in Iraq, and he graduated from this university here last year. He's now a sales rep down in San Diego. And the thing about, he is intentional about what he does. There's 4 months of online training class for business development folks. It took him 3 months to do it, because he's very intentional about what he does. He has a plan, he has a roadmap, and that's what we teach them, right? Because you're part of an association, nonprofit. Network yourself. You can't have enough networking. I think that's something we need to teach our students. Network inside the organization and outside the organization, right? I think it's just important both ways, right? Interview. Learn how to interview. Part of this intern process is within 12 weeks you need to have 4 interviews inside of the organization. Inside of UPS you need 4 interviews. Go to industrial engineering, go to plant engineering, go to human resources, go to operations. You may not end up in any of those functions, but go get an interview. Go see the leadership and interact, learn, develop yourself. This is that process. A map. Let's talk about putting a map up. Like a lot of things we do, we know if we write it down, we're better off not writing it down. But do our students have really a career map? Do they map things out in their education, their self-development? Is there a timeline? Oh, by the way, a lot of these students here are from this university and from Cal State, the other Cal States, all DPDs. They're driven positive disruptors. So here's the pathway map. And it's just, I mean, you can develop it yourself. This is just some ideas about what it could be. You know, you enter a school. That's your, as you can see, your academic milestone. Join a club. We have so many students that have an opportunity to join clubs and to be, you know, part of an accounting or be part of an HR club in school, right? Get an intern position. Volunteer for a nonprofit. Part-time management, achieve your degree, join a professional organization, secure your position, become a board member in a nonprofit, get to the next level, enroll in your master's, keep going and going and going, and map it out. How do I get here, and how long is it going to take me? Whatever your goal is. When am I going to get there, and how am I going to get there? Map it out. Because if we don't, what happens? I was one of those didn't map it out type guys. The UPS didn't care about education. I didn't care about it. I was 45 years old when I got my bachelor's. I was 50 when I got my master's. And then I became a learner. It's never too late to learn, I guess. But, you know, but if we could do this earlier, map your, I'm 38 years with that organization, but if I had done it differently, if I had mapped it out, I think things would have changed for me. I'm happy what happened, but we can't today. You have to map, you've got to take your ownership of your own career, your own development. We think organizations will do that. It's never has. I mean, you have to do that. So map it out, write it down. Help teach a class, mentor, right? Volunteer in a community. That's, you know, I'm not talking about one time for the day before Thanksgiving going to a food bank. I'm talking be intentional about volunteering. And that's why I said you get on a, my daughter, I was the Boys Town in California, and she was on the event committee for 3 years. She gained that experience, and she got a lot of networking out of it, and a lot of fulfillment, and she continues to volunteer at a young age. We talk about mentoring, right? That's a big deal. Now, don't we all need coaches and mentors in our lives? How much better are we when we have that? Jessica's a coach for me. She tells me, you know, use this water pick, use this oral toothbrush, electric. She's a coach for me. Think about our students, and when we get into from academia and we get into the logistics community, are we really mentoring them? Is it maybe something we have like a coach, a life coach at the university that could take that could help students map out where they're going, how fast they want to get there? I think it's important that those things, we need coaches, we need mentors. I have this thing on my wrist here. I like stretching people. I like stretching people. So a rubber band, not used, is just a rubber band. When you stretch it, it has purpose, right? So that's what I think about with our students and with our, you know, how far can we stretch them? Can we do things that they think are impossible in the beginning by joining a nonprofit, by going to school full time, by having a part-time job, by volunteering on weekends? I mean, can they do that? Yes. Can we challenge them? Can we stretch them? I think we can. And at the other time, we build up others, right? That's important. How about financial disciplines? How about they're coming out of school with financial debt? That some of it's not needed because, you know what? I go to Starbucks every day, that's $5. I go out for lunch, that's $12. So that's $17. I multiply that by 5 days, I multiply that by 52 weeks. What could you do with that money? So bring your own lunch, make your own coffee, understand compounding, understand a 401k, understand early on, when we have them, when they're 20 years old, when they're 21, when they're 19, understanding about financial discipline. And they'll understand that when they get into an organization. It's not personal, it's not only personal, which it should be first. The first thing we should teach them about their personal financial education. Step 10, career mapping. Once you get in an organization, what does that look like? What job am I in today? How do I master that job and plan out to get that next position? Do I rotate? So that's another part of the pathway map. So does this work? 2018, 52 interns. You can see 26 of these were female. 38 of them were bilingual or trilingual. The talent and the diversity in the Cal State San Bernardino, Cal State system's amazing, especially this school here. We had amazing success with the talent from this university. You know, 14 have full-time careers, 10 are more likely in the next 6 months. They have proven to be top performers within months of being in the organization. 6 in business development out of that number have over $4.2 million of sales that pulled through in their funnel. They're the highest performing salespeople out of 300 sales performers. How does that happen? A lot of the things that I've done in this university here and this process, understand that, right? They're driven positive disruptors, is what they are. So, we have the power, understand, and responsibility to create change now and in the future. Let's get started. We can be the driven, the positive disruptor of change.